Hi, I'm Matt from hockeyreviews.ca, and this is the Bauer Ultrasonic Snapshot Review, Overview, Initial Review thing. This is not my set, so obviously I'm not wearing it on the ice, so I can't comment on a bunch of things, but I will talk about my thoughts about it and how I kind of see this. I think this is really interesting. It's very, very unique. It's very innovative. So yeah, we'll go there. There'll be another video on the coverage and the reverse VH coverage, which will be separate from this. So anyways, here is the chest itself. So it should look very different from the previous one, which was the 2S Pro. I think Bauer did a pretty substantial revamp on this, and it's pretty interesting in my eyes. Just from the get-go, I guess we'll cover some things. Well, I guess we'll start with the floaters. I'm not sure what this material is called, but it's kind of the yellow Supreme design and this triangle design that you can see on other Supreme lines, including the pads. The floaters are made up of a foam that you can see on the back. So I don't think there's any D3O up here. It doesn't really feel like there's curve or anything up here either. It just feels like a foam. We get down, I do love this sublimated material all in the front. It's kind of the new Supreme sublimate material. It's unbelievably soft. It's super comfortable. So huge props for them in that design. They also have these new tabs to tie into the spot, like your suspenders or pants at the very bottom, which is a cool design as well. So you just hook them in there. That way they'll all stay connected. A ton of tying options on the actual chest piece itself. Heart area and the sternum protection, you get the pour-on foam inside there for the extra protection, everything. The interesting part about this kind of front piece here is it is segmented. So when I lift this up, you can see the foam underneath, and it's a shock light, but you can see how this is two separate pieces. The difference with this and the CCM one is it has one piece underneath, so this has an outer layer, and you can see the outer layer up by the shoulder floaters as well down there. So that's their shock light foam. We'll take another look at that in a second. The whole outer layer is pretty thin. It's the layer behind it that's pretty thick. The outer layer almost feels like it's a hard foam, and then the inner layer has that shock light, which you can see here. So it is a much softer foam. It kind of reminds me of like I don't know exactly, but it almost feels like a gel foam, but it's not quite that. So I'm really curious what the purpose of that is. I do like how there's the abrasion guards on the neck and kind of on the side where the comfort edge is. It's always just a little nice touch there. When you flip it over, you can see the thermocore liner on the back plate, but you have this very soft material on the inside. I can not see this being super cooling. I can see this being pretty warm, just like I had issues with the heat in the 2X Pro. So I can see that happening here as well. Adjustability straps are just on the side, and they come over to a buckle that's not really well protected, but it's kind of at the backish, so it should be okay. There's two buckles there. They have this interesting, again, pant strap loop / fight strap, which is kind of cool on the back, but I'm not really sure the purpose of that. I'm guessing it's to hold the pants in. When we look at the arms, this is also kind of taken directly from the 2X Pro in terms of it is now these ties where you can loosen it off and tighten it, and it pulls the arm up for adjustability instead of using Velcro or having to actually tie stuff in. It's just this lace, super quick, super easy, works very well. Big fan of that. So here is a look of the shoulder floater and the padded on the shoulder. So you have this shock light foam, and there's not really much underneath it. You have so that's kind of how it's connected. Then you have your foam up here, and then this floater obviously is to cover the gaps here. So that's in the small state. It does a pretty good job of actual covering it. So you can kind of see like that. My issue is I think this part will be okay. My issue is, it's not even an issue, it's more of a preference. I like how the Brian's one is more squared off. One, it will cover this kind of area, and so if you do kind of shrug or anything, it will kind of cover more down here in case there's like a gap here, which I don't think there is a gap, but just for movements and everything, that the Brian's one, really Optic 2 kind of covers that pretty well, where this one is obviously not gonna do that because it is pretty it's pretty small and round. So the floater adjustment is at the top. So you have one for the top floater. It's like the collar adjust. You can open it up or close that a bit. And then you also have this piece velcroed in too, so you can tighten or loosen the collar. That will pull the chest protector up on your body. So if it hangs too low, you can adjust that. Or if it hangs too high, you can adjust that. One of the really interesting designs and kind of bonus things on this chest is they have this piece right here, so your suspenders can go underneath, and that can come off simply by Velcro. You take it off and it's kind of all good to go. So it's pretty nice that they have that, and you can just take it off and it fits kind of in here, which is really cool. The elbows have this really nice soft black, I'm not sure what it is, it almost feels like spandex. These elbow pads are like the most comfortable elbow pads for goalies. They're not super hard, they don't have like a massive plastic cap, but it's extremely comfortable. I'm curious how that would be for actual landing on it. The arms are the most impressive, but also the weakest area of design on this, and I'll get to that. One, I gotta say, I love this material they're using, the sublimated material. It's very unique, so it's them. It's so soft too. Not sure how it wears, but it's so soft and comfortable. I have to give them props for that. So this arm design is just amazing. It's basically taking Warriors hinge design, adding it to, like, making it better without mechanical, in my opinion. And I say in my opinion because I haven't tested this for protection, but so that's how that piece works. You have only this part moving up and down, and you have no hinge, right? It's just tied in, and this elastic is holding in place. Now this is a curve, this is super hard, and behind here is just spandex, but that should be protected the whole time, and there shouldn't be any gaps. I did some testing on hitting with this, and it was totally fine. So it's really impressive. That's an amazing design, and Bauer deserves a ton of credit for that. The other part I really like about the arms is the under, like, wrist protection. Again, that super soft material. You have a kind of a, I think it's shock lead in there, I'm not sure, but it's it's a super soft material in there, and it's tied in there. I think you can adjust that too if you want to, but I really like that. It's on both arms. It's a nice padding. It's not like the hardest padding I've seen there, but it's decent. Now, my problem with these arms is I did a quick test, not with a puck or anything, and I slashed the forearm here. Didn't really get up here, but I slashed the forearm here, and I felt it with a mini stick. And I do that for player glove testing. I felt it on the mini stick, and I was thinking, okay, what are my thoughts with this compared to, so I put my Kineski on, and I never even felt the impact of the stick on the Kineski. But I felt it here to the point where when I hit it a couple times in a row, you can start feeling the throbbing in your arm, or the spot, just because it's getting, like, impacted. Couldn't feel it all on the Kineski. This one, you felt it on. So I'm really disappointed in that. This kind of kills my theory of hard arms mean protection, because this arm is totally solid. This isn't moving anywhere. I believe the problem lies in just how, like, the padding underneath isn't dense enough foam. It's pretty soft. Don't know if this is coming off on camera, but this is pretty soft. So that is not a dense enough foam to really do anything there. So the impact just goes right into your, and that's pretty disappointing. I love the straps. It's all stretch, and it just feels really nice. Putting it on and off, it's really comfortable. The sides are also way too soft. That foam getting hit with a puck is not gonna be enough. It does feel like it's like almost a smart foam behind, so it has 2 layers. But that's not going to be enough. I looked at all of my other chests, my Brown and my Kineski, and both of those have plastic on the arms. This one does not. That's just not going to be enough protection for those pucks, and that's really disappointing to me, because these arms are a brilliant design. But again, this is a very light chest, and I feel like Bauer, kind of with the 2X, they have great ideas, and it's there. It's just the execution. They're going for lightweight and not protective enough. Like, that design is amazing, and I really want to try it out and wear it, but there's no way I could get away with wearing these arms in my league, especially the better leagues. The lower league, I could do it. I'd feel it, like 2X Pro, but the higher leagues, there's no way. I'm not in it to get bruises on my arms when I play 5 times a week, and then when you feel those bruises wearing just other stuff, it's not comfortable. So that's rough for me, because I feel like this is an amazing design. It could be there, but they need to beef it up parts. And I don't think that would really affect mobility, because you could make these plastic and it would be fine. You can make this more padded underneath. It'll just be heavier. Arm movement is like unreal. This is easily the most broken in chest I've ever worn. It's better than the Warriors. It, I think, like has the next level of broken in arms and amazing arm design. In terms of flexibility, it's unreal. Like this is just crazy. And then you can't feel that in the gap, because it's such a hard plate and there is that air gap. You can't feel anything. And as you can see, mobility is just unreal in this thing. The arms move like crazy. It's simply the best there is right now. With that said, like I said, the protection on that is lacking. It's why I'm excited about this chest. I'm excited about the details on it and what Bauer has done, but I'm not excited with the finish of it. And this is why these are just not padded enough for my game. And if I can feel that with a mini stick, Slapshot's gonna crush it. And that was my experience with 2X Pro. It felt amazing, felt really nice. And then I started taking pucks off it, and it was like, okay, why? And I tested that against the chest I have now, and they're not there. This isn't there. And I understand the market for this is different than what my chests are, but I can't, if I'm not gonna purchase something, I have a hard time. If I wouldn't purchase something, I have a hard time telling someone else to purchase it. This design is phenomenal and amazing. I absolutely love the innovation in this, but this needs to be beefed and these need to be beefed. So I'm not sure why they went that route again. Again, lightweight. It feels lighter than any chest I've had on me. I don't know if the Warrior comes up lighter than this or not. I didn't weigh this, but it feels lightest on me. And one, that's also because how mobile the arms are, but it's not enough, and they could add weight to it. I almost wish there was like an Ultrasonic Pro that was beefed for someone like me who wants that more protection, and I would probably end up buying this if that was the case. But it isn't. So the side protection is pretty decent. I wish these were covered with something, just because I have a feeling those being exposed on the side, me RVHing, that's going to get hit. But it seems pretty decent. It honestly, it feels like the Brian's Optic 2 in terms of thickness right here without the pillow. Here it feels thicker. So it should be okay, but it's okay. That's all I'm going to say. For gloves, we'll pull up the Optic gloves like every test we are doing so far. So these they're currently adjusted at the shortest, smallest they go. They do go deep, but they taper off quite a bit. So interference is pretty non-existent, to be totally honest. They're never going to get in the way of the floater because of this design. So that's a good thing. And yeah, mobility with the gloves is really good. This is the shortest setting it goes, but the coverage is still really good. It does go in deep there. It's just the way it's tapered. The way it's tapered works pretty well for that. So yes. So that's about it for the ultrasonic chest. So Bauer will hate me for saying this, but the design on this is unbelievably awesome. They're pushing the boundaries again. They did it with the pads. They did it with the Odin pads to begin with. Then they did it with the 3S with the knee block. How it's all one piece. And then this is unreal. This is just ridiculous. I really want to try this thing. But this passes Warriors arms for broken out of the box and an overall mobility. This doesn't feel like a hinge at all. It's just unbelievable. But protection, I know the protection's not going to be there because I can feel it. And I did an easy test with mini sticks and I could feel that. That's really disappointing to me. And it's something that, it was a problem with the 2X Pro, and I think it's a problem with this too. This is an amazing unit in terms of design and and thought process. The materials feel really high end, but the protection is just not there, and I wouldn't wear this in its current form. So yes, but I'm really excited about the arms. They're really awesome. So that's about it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I'll have the stick videos coming out soon. I'll have a neck coverage video with this and RVH coming out as well in the future. Remember to like this video, subscribe to me on YouTube, follow me on Instagram and Twitter, hit the bell icon on YouTube to get notified when I make new content. And remember to reach out to manufacturers if you ever do buy a piece of their gear because of my video. Helps me get on the radar, so one day hopefully I can test these instead of just borrowing them and talking about my thoughts like this. So thank you very much for watching, and take it easy.